Now it's time to create a new Flutter project. To do that, we have to click this option over here. So whenever you click that, there will be a window opened and it will say a new project, but I need to select this option over here. So I need to select Flutter, and from here I need to specify the Flutter SDK path. So let's click this button and let's go to the location where I actually put my Flutter SDK, and that's inside C, source and Flutter. And then I'm hitting OK, and then next. Then I have to provide a name for my Flutter project. It's just a name. It's not the app name, it's just a project name, and I will talk about this, all of these options in later modules, so when you actually start building Flutter applications. But right now, just provide the information what I do right now. So let's give a project name, for example, Hello World, or my first Flutter project, my first Flutter project. And this will be the default project savings location, and the C drive, user, and the username folder. And there will be a folder called Android Studio Projects, and inside that you'll have your created Flutter project. Also, you can change the path. And now I just want to remove these options because we are going to build apps for only Android and iOS. That's why I'm unchecking all these options, and I'm not changing anything from these options, and I am hitting the create button. It will take some time to create our new Flutter project. So Android Studio has been opened, and we see a README file over here, and the what's new section. I am just closing this assistant tab, and we should not work or change or write anything while this loading options runs in the background, or it says configure or any other stuffs or loading. We shouldn't do anything. Rather, we should wait to let Android Studio finish its task. It says that Android Studio Android API 29 platform is missing. Also, we have a configure button over here. Let's hit that configure option, and let's add this Android API 34 extension level 7, something like that. So hit that. I think our project is ready and there is no issues over here. We can just simply close these windows. So whenever we create a new Flutter project, and the new Flutter project actually comes with a template, and these are actually Dart codes and a complete Flutter app, what we call a counter app, and we can eventually run this code on emulator or browser. So we have created an emulator earlier. I want to run or open that emulator by clicking this device manager button over here and hit this play icon, and it will open our emulator, and it will boot or start from just like a normal phone starts. So by default, Android Studio opens inside Android Studio in a different pane or different window that is within or embedded inside the Android Studio. But we also can open the emulator in a separate or a standalone application. And to change that settings, we have to go to Files and Settings, and from this list we have to find the emulator, and we can find that inside this Tools, and then this emulator, and it says the Launch in a Tool window. We need to uncheck this and then Apply, then OK. From now on, emulator will start or open in a different window that is separated from Android Studio. So I just want to stop that, and maybe it was trying to open the emulator in the tool window. I want to start the emulator once again, and now you see that the emulator is opened as a separate window, and it has been also started, and you see over here at the top of Android Studio, the name of the emulator, it's shown. That means now Android Studio has detected this emulator, and now this emulator is connected to this project or Android Studio. All we have to do is now hit this play button, and this project will be compiled natively, and the APK file will be installed to this device. So let's hit this play button and wait. Finally, our app has been run in our device, and there are a lot of stuffs that happened during the run process or build process. If you see the run console in Android Studio, you see lots of things, but this is not the normal scenario whenever we run an application or try to run our Flutter project on emulator or any other device. It is not the situation, and this actually happened because we're doing everything from scratch. We just installed Flutter, we just installed Android Studio, we just created our emulator. So these things are what we're doing for the first time. So all the configuration and all the settings, you will not find this information or these lines, or like it says install Android SDK tools or stuff like that. You will not see this from in the next run. Whenever we try to run application on emulator, we will not generally see this information. So for the first time, you have to be patient and wait a little bit, because it took a considerable amount of time. I was just watching, and it approximately took 6 to 7 minutes. Okay, the main thing is this is our application, and sometimes we call it a counter app because this app has nothing but a button and few text, and if you hit this button, the value of this counter value just increases, and that's it. So this is a single page application, and what we do whenever we try to create a new Flutter project, this counter app, we just start from it, and we keep some of the codes and we delete the others, and then we add codes according to our needs. So now we are ready for Flutter app development. In the next module, we are going to learn about Dart programming language. Though Dart programming language doesn't need Android Studio or any other IDE, we can run Dart code on browser. There is a website called dartpad.dev, and in that website, that is managed by Dart team, and we can write Dart code on the browser, on the console directly, and run the Dart code and see the outputs on the browser. And that's how we don't need any IDE or browser, but still we can write Dart codes in Android Studio, but we'll use Dartpad in this course. So see you in the next module.